So there's a new study that's come out that state in 17 states you have a declining white population, that more white people are actually dying than being born. Let's go ahead and roll the short clip.
White Americans are dying than being born. The University of New Hampshire study found a decrease in the white population across 17 states that make up around 38% of the U.S. population, including Florida, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia. The declines are due to an aging population, fewer women of childbearing age, and lower fertility rates among whites. Between 1999 and 2014, the number of white births fell 8.4%, while the number of deaths rose 5.8%. According to recent studies, more white people are dying from suicide, drug abuse, and obesity-related issues in recent years. A co-author of the study said, "The white population isn't replacing itself. That accelerates the growing diversity of the American population. However, minority populations continue to grow and have much higher fertility rates. The census projects that people of color will be the majority in the U.S. in the mid-2040s."
Now, the Time magazine article that actually put this stuff out, this clip only told part of it. If you're going to tell the truth, go ahead and tell it all, even though what you said is part of it. But when we look at what's really going on the white population in America and also the white population worldwide, you have to look at, first and foremost, the white fertility rate is actually the lowest in the world. It's so bad that there are actually European countries that are paying white women to have children. So you actually have a biological issue going on that states that you are the lowest group of women that cannot produce children, versus you have your Hispanic women, you have your black women, especially in the U.S., that are having more children than white women. But it's also outside of the genetics and biology, argument we can look at. But white women aren't just really having kids by choice outside of the genetic issue. But it's a long list of things of why the white woman is not having children. And you could also travel back historically, where the white woman has always been oppressed at the hands of the white man. See, when we talk about white supremacy, it's actually white male supremacy. You remember that for a long time, the white woman had to, let's say during slavery, had to watch the white man go out there sleeping with black women, having the Negro bed wenches and everything else during slavery. And, that's why a lot of times you see them slave movies, the white woman would attack certain slaves because that's the one that her husband was fooling with. The white woman had no rights. Even black people got rights before a white woman had got rights in this country. So you had, of course, you saw the women's suffrage movements that happened. Why did you have a women's suffrage movement? It's because the oppressive nature of white male supremacy. It had nothing to do with the black man or any other man or woman in this country. It had to do with the white male. So you always had a beef between the oppressive nature of the white male and trying to oppress the white female. This is why the white female needed feminism. Feminism had nothing to do with black people. Because remember, black people, we suffer together on everything. The black man did not get anything less than the black woman. We was beaten together, enslaved together, Jim Crow together, segregation together. We was raped together. Yes, black men were raped during slavery too. Our children had things happen to them. Oh, you can look at all the historical references that happened to black people, and it happened together. No other group of people has oppressed white women in this nation but white men. That's why a lot of black men get very angry when you have black women talking about feminism, because we have never oppressed black women or even been in a position to oppress black women. So feminism is the white woman's fight against her man. Then you had Margaret Sanger show up during history, and she definitely wanted to stop the birth of black people. So eventually abortion became law, where now you can legally kill your child and nothing will happen to you. Now, of course, Margaret Sanger wanted this to be her dream to kill off black people, but of course, white women took advantage of abortion as well. And, the lie from the pit of hell that states that, well, it's my body, I can choose, well, a fetus isn't a person, that sort of thing, that's straight from Satan himself. Then they used a lie that, well, what about rape, incest, and medical emergency, but really even worldwide, only 3% of abortions are that. The rest is mostly convenience. But abortion did affect the white population rate as well. That's why you have hardcore Republicans who want to get rid of Planned Parenthood and abortion, because they understand this. The white supremacist alt-right group, they understand this as well. That's why they're fighting so hard about immigration and all this other stuff. They know this stuff. They fear white genetic annihilation, which Dr. Frances Cress Welsing had really spoke about that during her lifetime. So on top of you having abortion, then also white women are tired of being oppressed on jobs from white men. They don't get paid the same amount of money as white men as well. On top of that, when they deal with interracial dating and marriage, at least 9% of white women are doing that. So that definitely has an effect on the white children, because if these women are having children with black men, Asian men, Hispanic men, or whatever, they're not going to be considered white in America. And there's a strong rule on white women within the white community that says once you go outside of this community and have children, we ain't accepting you back. But that's kind of really unfair, because white men can go have babies with all kind of Asian women. They chase Asian women all day long. That's like the number one woman they go chase. They can be with black women, Hispanic women, but nobody's kicking white men out of the white community. But a white woman, she gets kicked out of the community. She gets ostracized. She gets talked about and everything if she chooses to date or marry someone outside of her community. So white women are kind of pissed off about that as well. They're tired of being oppressed with white men constantly, even to this day. So they have rebelled against a white man. So you have about half of the women that actually want to be under white male supremacy, which that would be your Donald Trump supporters. Then you have those who do not want to be under white male supremacy, which they probably be more your liberal leaning white women. They want to do what they want to do, and they don't want no white man telling them what to do. They feel like they're free. They are not nobody's slave, is what they like to say. But really, they more so referring that to white men, because black men is not the slave, or any other group of men is not the slave. Also, white women are choosing career. They're getting their degrees, and they're having children later in life. Now, a lot of times, you have women having children in their 30s. And usually that lowers your birth rate as well, just for all women. So you have a woman coming into the situation that has a lower birth rate around 1.8 US, or worldwide actually 1.3. Then she's having babies later. She's definitely minimizing her chances of having children. So then you look at the heroin and crystal meth epidemic that's going on, that's killing off white folks. Then you have the suicide, as they talked about, that's killing off white folks, in which I feel the suicide is crazy, because black people actually should lead in suicide in this country, but they don't, because all the things that we go through historically and even now, but yet the system is set up for white men to do great, and yet they killing themselves. That's amazing to me. But the crystal meth epidemic, the heroin, is killing off a lot of white folks every single day. It's horrible within their community. So it definitely has an effect on them. So, some people I already know in the comment section, you're going to have certain things you're going to say. But this is what I'm going to say about the situation. There's nothing you can do about it. Nothing. Genetics and all those things I just described, I wanted to make sure to put that out there. That's why you're really decreasing. Now, their response is let's attack the Hispanic with the immigration, because we can't have babies. Let's attack the black people because they outpopulating us. Also, with black people, we can actually outbreed them to out of existence as well. It don't matter if they get with a black man or a black woman. If they have a child, that child can be considered black in America. So, that's also another way they're breeding themselves out here in America. So that's why a lot of them are also very upset about this interracial dating thing. But they always need to remember it was a white man and a black woman that got that approved, the Loving case. So always remember that it ain't black men, much as they like to talk about black men, it ain't black men with that. It was a white man that helped, and the black woman helped spearhead the interracial dating thing because it was illegal at one point in time in the U.S. So it's a very complex situation, but the white woman has rebelled against the white man. She ain't having his babies no more. She got other things that she want to do. She's tired of being ostracized. She's tired of you telling her she can't be in the white community no more, but you can do whatever you want to do, and you still can be within the community with your Asian woman and everything else. White woman tired. She ain't playing games. The black woman still having babies with us. The Hispanic woman still having babies with her man, and everybody else still having children. But I don't know. Y'all need to fix y'all inner workings and inner issues within the white community. Stop worrying about us. Please stop worrying about us, because you have so much you need to fix within your community. Let me know in the comment section what you think about this story, because it's definitely quite interesting. But hey, we got to talk about this sort of thing. Share the video, let everyone know about it. Like the commentary, and subscribe for more news stories.